Hey everyone. Hey everybody, my name is Carly and I'll be working with you tonight on some yin yoga. Hello, we'll be doing some yin yoga tonight. It's going to be around 50 or so minutes. Yin yoga, for those of you who aren't as familiar with it, is a more slow moving practice. It is meant to really calm the mind and relax the body before sleep. Yin yoga is great for anyone who experiences anxiety or a lot of stress. I think we're all experiencing elevated levels of both of those right now. I know I am. But yin is a beautiful way to combat all of that, or at least manage it. So yin yoga is, it's still yoga, but it's a lot more gentle, and it consists of postures that are held for quite a bit longer than typical like vinyasa yoga. Some people find yin yoga actually to be more challenging than vinyasa yoga because even though you're not working the body as physically hard, you are still in the pose for a long time. So the mind starts to wander, you might start to get frustrated, you might start to get emotional in other ways. Just be aware of what rises in you throughout the practice, but it's all normal. So we'll give everyone another minute or so to get on their mats. Tonight we will only need a mat, or if you have a large pillow, that might be helpful because we'll be in these postures for a while, as I mentioned, and sometimes a large pillow is really nice to relax onto in some of the poses, and I'll walk you through that if you do want to use it. I'm gonna have one by me and I'll show you. Anything else? Music, I won't be playing music on my end, but feel free to play some gentle music on yours. I actually do recommend some calming music for these slower paced classes because we hold some of these poses for such a long time that it's nice to be able to focus on something other than the breath and the posture. So music can be nice. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Just make your way onto your mat if you're not already there. Grab your pillow, anything else you might need. If you want a smaller towel to put on your eyes for after the practice, that works too. Easy tonight. So just take a minute to arrive on your mat. You can cross your legs in a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. Just start to become more aware of your breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling through the mouth. Maybe for this next one, you can blink the eyes shut. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, excuse me. For the rest of the practice, if you are trying to become more relaxed for sleep, which I think a lot of us are doing, you can try to extend the exhales. So if you lengthen the exhales and shorten the inhales, that puts you in a more calming, relaxing space as it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest nervous system. So inhale again. Seal the lips and exhale through the nose. See if you are able to make the exhale a little bit longer there. One more time, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose again. If your eyes are shut, feel free to blink them open. See if you can get tall in the spine. And inhale as you shrug the shoulders to the ears, and exhale as the shoulders come back and down. So inhaling again, shoulders come to the ears. Exhaling, they come back and down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back, down. Let's do a few more rounds. Let's slow it down a little bit, but go at your own pace ultimately. Two more. Last one, wherever you are. Bringing the hands to the knees, if they're not already there, we're going to do some seated cat-cows. So inhaling, slowly arching the back forward, lifting the chest. Exhaling, rounding the back out. You can almost hold on to your knees as if you're going to fall back. Inhaling, chest opens, comes forward. Exhaling, round the back. I'll show you a side view. So inhaling, arching the back, gaze comes up. Exhale it out, round that back over. And this next one, inhale, exhale, and see if you can do some little micro movements on the exhale. Moving that spine side to side. Just stretching it out in every direction. Maybe even rotating one way and then the other. Coming back to a neutral spine, you're going to interlace the hands behind the back if it's available to you. If it's not, you can try just interlacing the thumbs, and if that's not available, it's totally fine. Just reach back, elbows are bent currently. Inhale, chest lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, see if you can straighten those arms any amount. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh it all out. One more inhale here. And exhale. See if you can make this the longest exhale yet. Releasing the arms down the side. Maybe move those shoulders a little bit, get any kinks out. Interlacing the hands the non-habitual way in front of you by your chest. Pushing those palms out in front of you, and then exhaling all your air out. On the next inhale, lift the arms up overhead and elongate the spine. So see if you can get as tall as possible from the palms of the hands to the sits bones. Wherever you are, inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hold. Make sure your shoulders aren't coming up too much by the ears. They should be down. Inhale here. Exhale. We're going to do 2 more deep inhales and exhales. See if you can keep the lips sealed and only inhaling and exhaling through the nose. On the next inhale, stay center. And on the exhale, coming over to the right side. Stay here for one more inhalation and exhalation. And then come to the middle. Inhaling here. Exhaling Exhaling, coming over to the left side, staying for one round of breath. Inhaling back to center. Get tall and exhale, release. For this next one, if you are using a large pillow to assist in any way, make sure it's close by. We're going to walk that right hand out to the side, bend the elbow, and this is here where you can put a big pillow underneath your arm if you want it to be more of a restorative pose. So the pillow goes underneath the underarm, walk that right hand out to the side, bend the elbow, inhale, left arm comes up and over. We're going to be staying here for about 5 breaths, so get nice and comfortable. It's okay if it's a little bit of discomfort. You just don't want to feel any pain. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release down a little bit lower. So during our last gentle yoga class, I explained that in typical vinyasa yoga, we are unable to really stretch the fascia, which is the connective tissue that holds all of the organs and stuff into place. It's really good to be able to stretch it out because it rarely gets stretched. But really the only way to do that is in long poses. So here is where we're really getting to do that. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. One more breath here. Exhaling long. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. You might notice the left shoulder starting to become a little bit tensiony, and that is great. It means we're working it out even in this slow moving flow. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe rotate those shoulders out a little bit. Shake out the arms if you have to. And then inhale the arms up to center. Exhale. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Get tall even as you exhale. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling. Final inhale here. Getting tall through the spine. Exhale. If you used a pillow on the other side, bring it around to the left. Have it come underneath the underarm of the left side, and then walk that left hand out. Here, I'll move it over just a bit. Walk that left hand out to the side, bend the left elbow, inhale, the right arm comes up and overhead. Deep inhale here, and exhale. You want to make sure that right knee isn't coming super high off the ground. Try to guide it back towards the mat if it starts to come up. Try to keep both sits bones on the ground as well throughout these seated postures. Inhale here and exhale. You're doing 3 more breaths here. Again, keeping the lips sealed and exhaling through the nose. On your next exhale, see if you can exhale longer than the inhale. Final round. Exhale, come a little deeper. Inhale, rise back up to center. Remove the pillow, although keep it close. We'll be using it in just a second. Inhale, arms up overhead. 3 breaths here. Make them slow. Notice if you feel any tension in your shoulders now that we've been doing this for a while. 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, twist to the right. Drop the right hand behind you. Left hand meets the right knee. Inhale, chest opens, gaze goes up slightly. Exhale, the head turns right towards the back of the room. On your next inhale, come back to center, arms raise high, exhale. Inhale, lengthening through the spine and the hands. Exhale, twist to the left. The left hand comes behind you, the right palm meets the left knee. Inhale, chest expands, gaze looks up a bit. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper and look over the left shoulder. Inhaling back to center, arms rise up overhead. Exhale. Inhale once more. And if you're using the pillow, feel free to put it in your lap. And on your next exhale, fall forward, crawling the hands out in front of you. Maybe bring one cheek or the other to the pillow and let your head fall loose. Make sure that you're not holding any tension in the neck. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. Again, this might be more challenging for you than a vinyasa flow. If your mind starts to wander, you start thinking about what you're going to prepare for breakfast tomorrow, or what time you're going to go to sleep, or how much homework you have left, just observe the thought and let it pass. No judgment, just let it go and come back to the breath. On your next inhale, lift the neck, look forward, and exhale as you turn the head deliberately the opposite direction than you've already had it. 5 more deep inhalations and exhalations on the other side. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands back in towards the body. Keep the pillow close. We'll be using it again. And extend those legs out in front of you slowly. The knees might be a little tight. And just give them a nice little shake. Flex the feet. place the hands behind you. Inhale, chest expands. Exhale, point the right foot and flex the left. Alternate. With every inhale, you point one and flex the other. And every exhale, you switch it out. We so rarely get to stretch out all of the little muscles within the ankles. And they really need it. We're on our feet quite a bit. And we sort of ignore our precious ankles. So let's give them a little attention here. Coming back to flexed feet on both sides. We're going to bring the pillow, if you're using it, onto your lap. Maybe fold it over, bring it in close. Inhale, arms up. I know this might look a little silly. And exhale, fold over. And again, this is the more restorative version of the posture. You can always remove the pillow and go for a deeper stretch. I'm choosing the restorative ones today because that's the kind of day it is for me. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. So try to let go and become as comfortable as possible in this position. Inhale deeply. Exhale through the nose longer. You can become more aware too of the sounds around you. You don't have to avoid all sensation that's not on your mat. If you notice sounds, just observe them and then let them go as well. Inhaling deeply, exhaling it out, coming a little deeper in the stretch, maybe walking the fingertips closer to the ankles. On the next inhale, slowly start to walk your hands back to your torso. Keep the pillow close by. Bend the right knee. Place the sole of the right foot either against the thigh, or if it doesn't feel good for you, maybe against the shin. For me, it actually feels more comfortable to place it against the thigh. Again, keep the pillow on top of you if you want the restorative version. Flex the left foot. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Again, making sure there's no tension in the neck. Even if it means that your head just literally hangs loose, do that. Just give it a break. And find 5 long inhalations and exhalations here. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands back towards the body. Bring that pillow out to the side, keep it close, extend that right leg out to meet the left. Shake them out a little bit. Then inhale. Bring that left foot anywhere on the right leg that feels comfortable. Flex the right foot. If you're using a pillow, grab it now. Everybody inhale, arms up overhead. Get long. Exhale, fold forward. We'll be here for 5 long inhalations and exhalations. Again, just letting it all go. See if you can focus solely on the breath if possible for the next 5 breaths. On the next inhale, gently walk the hands back in towards the body. Remove the pillow. You can keep it close to you. We're not going to use it just yet. Extend that left leg out and shake those knees out a little bit. We're going to be moving on to our backs now. I'm going to come onto my side, angle. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale as you slowly start to lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time with control, until eventually you come all the way onto your back. Just get comfortable here. Notice if your back cracks at all. Get out any little micro movements before we continue. I'm going to interlace the fingers above the chest. Inhale as you push the palms towards the ceiling. Exhale here. And inhale, palms come overhead behind you. Giving yourself a nice big stretch here. See if you can feel all those little intercostal muscles between your ribs. Stretch it out. Maybe point the feet and inhale and exhale for 4 rounds. If you took my class Thursday evening, we worked on belly breathing, which is breathing exactly as it sounds, deep into the belly rather than the chest. So while we're doing these breaths, see if you can inhale and watch your belly rise. So many of us breathe so deeply into the chest, and we really want to be breathing into the belly. That's what really activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So inhaling, watching the belly rise, and exhaling, the belly falls. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, palms come back up overhead, facing the ceiling. Press those shoulder blades also towards the ceiling so they lift up off the ground. Head is still against the ground. Just reach it forward and release those hands down out in front of you in a T just for a moment. Inhale and internally rotate the toes so that the toes start to face the ceiling. You're activating through the legs now, so the calves should be turned on, the quads and hamstrings are turned on. stay here for a moment. Inhaling and exhaling. And on your next inhalation, bring the right knee towards the chest. Notice if any cracking happens and enjoy it if it does. Grab onto the knee. Inhale here. And exhale, curl the head towards the knee, lifting the shoulder blades off the ground as well. You can either choose to stay here like this. This is the most restorative version, aside from having the shoulders on the ground, which let's do this one for now. Or you can bring the palms out on either side of the leg and then lift the left leg about a couple of inches off the ground, a little lower than hip height. Inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 2 here. Inhaling once more. And exhaling, release it all down. Look from one side to the other, giving your neck a little bit of a stretch. Interlacing your hands once again, pushing the palms to the sky, and just for a brief moment, stretching it out again. This time, point through the toes. Bringing the hands by the sides, internally rotating the legs once again. Knees and toes face the ceiling. Legs are activated. Inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee and bring it towards the chest. Grasp onto the knee with both hands. Inhale here. And exhale, curl the head towards the knee. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Option to extend the hands out on either side and lift that right leg off the ground an inch or 2. 2 deep inhales and exhales here. Releasing everything down once again. Interlacing the fingers the non-habitual way. Pushing those palms once again to the sky. Inhaling overhead. And exhaling deeply here. This time we're going to alternate pointing and flexing the toes. And just notice, really make those points and flexes dramatic. And notice how your hips alternate. You're giving your hips a nice stretch when you do this. Bringing the hands overhead once again. Palms face the ceiling. Feet are flexed and facing the ceiling. And bring it all down. We're going to plant the soles of the feet into the ground. Keep the left leg bent on the ground and the right ankle crosses over the left knee. Keeping both feet flexed, bring that left leg a little bit closer to you, and maybe you just hold on to the sides of the left thigh. Maybe you reach all the way around and grab onto the thigh with the fingers interlaced, or maybe you even bring your hands to the outside of your shin and pull it through that way. Either way, I recommend going the most restorative for this one, unless you really feel the need to get a deep stretch. I think the restorative version is really lovely for this, what we're doing right now. Either way, keep those feet flexed in an inhale. Exhale, see if you can draw the leg a little bit closer to you. 4 more rounds of breath at your own slow, ideally, pace. Again, just coming back to the sound of my voice and your breath. Last inhale. Keep the lips sealed, exhaling through the nose longer. Release those feet, maybe bring them up to the sky just for a moment. Rotate those ankles if it feels good. Get all those little cracks out. And then bring the soles of the feet to the ground once again. Inhale, the left ankle crosses over the right knee area. And reach through, seeing if you can match what you did on the right side to the left. Both feet are flexed here. And if you want, you can use your left elbow to sort of guide that right leg back as you pull your right quad, I don't know why my mind just went blank there, hamstring towards your body. And do 5 long inhalations and exhalations here. Releasing both soles of the feet down to the ground. We're going to come into some minor inversions, the bridge pose. And the first one we'll do without anything. The other one, we might use a pillow. So first of all, make sure that your heels are close enough to your sit bones that your middle fingers can gently graze the heels. If that's the case, then you know that you're in a good position. The palms can face down, and when you lift the hips, you're going to make sure that you're pushing through the heels. So push through the heels now, lift the hips, and once you're all the way elevated, don't look from side to side like I'm doing. Keep your gaze facing the ceiling and walk the shoulder blades in towards one another so you can get a bit more height. If you feel comfortable here, you can interlace your fingers underneath you. The pinky edge side of the hands are grounding into the mat. Make sure that both quads are parallel, that they're not jutting out to the sides like so. And just take 5 breaths here. It might be challenging, but that's okay. We're going to move slowly through this. Belly breathing the entire time. So as you inhale, watch the belly expand, and as you exhale, watch it lower. Last inhale. Exhale, uninterlace the fingers if they're interlaced, and slowly start to lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. If you don't have a pillow and you don't want to do that exact same bridge again, I recommend windshield wipering the knees back and forth and then just meeting us in happy baby. Otherwise, I would take a pillow, make sure it's close by. Don't look left to right once your hips are up, so you want to make sure it's close to you now. And then come into a restorative version of bridge. So lift those hips up off the mat, grounding down through the heels, and then bring that pillow underneath you into a restorative version of bridge. So your hips are maybe even just a couple inches off the ground, but that's okay. Wherever you are, just breathe. 5 rounds of breath here, bring your gaze down and watch the belly lift and lower. Should be rising on the inhales and falling on the exhales. On your next inhale, push through the heels, lift the hips, and remove that pillow out to the side. Slowly start to lower down one vertebrae at a time. Once you reach the bottom, you can windshield wiper your knees from side to side, alternating coming onto the edge of each foot. Coming back to center, both soles of the feet are still on the ground. You're going to hop the hips over to the right, just about maybe an inch or so. Extend the left leg long, keeping that foot flexed. Bring the right knee into your chest. Grab hold of it with the left hand and gently guide the right knee across your body into a twist. You can take your pillow, whack yourself in the face with it, and then put it on the ground underneath your right knee for a more restorative version of this twist. If you don't have a pillow, you can also just bring both knees on top of one another. Either way, your arms are in a T. And whichever version you're doing, see if you can keep your right shoulder blade on the ground throughout the entire twist. We're going to be here for 7 nice, juicy, long breaths. Maybe you look over to the right. Since we're here for so long, if you want to let go of that flex in your left foot, go ahead and do so. We just want you to be as comfortable as possible in this pose. So with every inhale, get a little bit deeper with your breath. Then exhale, fall into the pose just a little bit more. 3 more breaths. On your next inhale, bring the gaze back to the ceiling. Remove the pillow. Toss it onto the other side if you think you'll use it. Bringing both feet to the floor. Hopping the hips first to the middle, and then grounding down through the heels as you lift the hips and move the hips over just an inch to the left this time. Extend that right leg out in front of you, first keeping the foot flexed. Bring the left knee into the chest, hold on to it with the right hand, and then slowly start to guide it over the body and bringing it to the floor. Again, if you want to use a pillow to make it a little more restorative, go ahead and do that. Left arm comes out into a T, and maybe you bring the gaze over the left hand. Feel free to blink the eyes closed for the next 7 rounds of breath. On the next inhale, gently blink the eyes open if they're closed. Bring the gaze back to the ceiling. Remove the pillow. Bring both soles of the feet to the ground. Hop the hips back to center. And then find happy baby. Maybe your hands come to the outsides of your feet. Maybe they come to your ankles. Or maybe they grasp right behind the knees. Whatever feels most comfortable to you tonight. Just make sure that you keep your sacrum, your low back, on the floor. Maybe you give it a little rock side to side. Slow it down a little bit. Really feel the muscles in the low back, getting a massage. Coming back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself some love and appreciation. You should be so proud of yourself for dedicating this time to you. You really deserve it, and you should be happy that you made that happen. Extending the feet long in front of you. Let the feet fall to the sides. Let the palms face the ceiling. Gently blink the eyes closed. Maybe one hand finds the heart and the other hand finds the belly. Just start to get really comfortable. Let go of any focus on the lengths of the inhalations and exhalations. Releasing any tension in the ankles. If you need to put the pillow under your knees to release any tension in the low back, go ahead and do that. And then come back down into Shavasana with us. Releasing any tension from the hips and the stomach. Notice if you're holding on to any tension in the abdominals, let it go. So many of us, especially women, hold tension in the stomach at all times. Even when we're laying down, we realize it's tight. We walk around with our chest out and our stomach's in, and we don't even realize we're doing it. Just let the stomach loose. It's better if the stomach expands with every breath. Let the shoulders fall a little deeper into the mat. Notice the jaw start to become heavier. The low jaw holds so much tension. Maybe the lips part, maybe the jaw falls back a little bit. Maybe the tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Notice if even with the eyes closed, you're squinting them. If so, just try to relax them. Relax the gentle area beneath the eyes. See if you can smooth out the skin in between the eyebrows. Relax the forehead muscles. See if they can just fall away down the sides of your head. I'm going to leave you here in Shavasana. I highly recommend staying here for a few minutes. Thank you so much for taking the class, and I will see you next time. Namaste.